Radio Times, January the 11th, 1924. Dear Sir, there is a feature of broadcasting that has struck me as being distinct to oneself. I refer to the personal feeling. Unconsciously, one feels that the entertainment is being given for one's own special benefit, and that the news is being given to us personally.
And then the lover, sighing like furnace, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress' eyebrow.
Are you the man who broke the Bank of Monte Carlo? No. No, I'm the manager of this here, the vacuum cleaner. Yes, no.
Hello, everyone. This is Henry Hawes speaking.
I've a radio here from 1936 that looks rather different from the radios that preceded it. By this time, the parts, separate parts that we'd seen earlier, the detector unit and the loudspeaker, had all gone inside one box, and instead of being a wireless set, a set of parts, it then became known as simply the wireless. While the earlier sets were personal things which you listened to on earphones, this had a big, good quality loudspeaker that would distribute sound throughout the room quite loudly because of the invention of the valve which enabled amplification of radio signals. It performed very well. It could keep you in touch. It could keep the whole family together because you could sit round it in a circle and listen rather than having to wear earphones. It was the friend in the corner that cheered you up.
Radio Times, 28th of December, 1923. Sir, as the mother of a family and the wife of a working man, I should like to say that wireless is a great blessing in my life. I no longer feel out of things by being tied down to the babies and unable to go out in the evenings. I can take up my sewing and knitting and listen to an ever-varying programme, knowing that my children are safe in bed. I want you to publish the fact that wireless is a greater boon to working-class mothers than it can possibly be to any other class of people.
Dear Sir, has a brass parrot's cage ever been used by others as an indoor aerial? I was astonished at the excellent results obtained in this way with my 3-valve set. The London station concert was heard perfectly clearly with 3 pairs of phones.
After 1927, it was decided that the BBC should become a public corporation. That itself had more than symbolic significance as far as Reith was concerned. It seemed to give the BBC not only independence, but a guarantee of long-term security. Reith's view was that the people were not just given the broadcast programmes that they wanted, but broadcast programmes which, in the view of the corporation, would be the best.
Technically, I thought a monopoly was justifiable, but I was far, far more interested in the monopoly in terms of the intellectual and ethical standard of the content of its programs.
Yes, and that, of course, is itself tremendously interesting, because that would imply that the ethical standard and the intellectual standard which you decided upon was to be the prevailing standard.
Yes. Arrogant?
Self-confident.
Self-confident.
I mean, in the sense that you would feel that you were equipped to decide that.
Yes, I did. But, Mark, you do let me make it clear that I had tremendously efficient, imaginative, dedicated assistants in the BBC. They came there and nowhere else, not because they were better paid or anything of that sort. I'm talking about the early days, because they believed profoundly and felt a sort of a call to it.
Here's the London station of the BBC sending a New Year's message to the universe. Hello, all stars and nebulae. Are you awake, Gemelli, this stormy night?
In a recent letter, a listener claims, as a matter of fact, that while in a taxi on his way across London, he picked up a broadcast talk. Twice, while seated in the taxi, he heard the speaker's voice. When he reached home, he confirmed the subject of the talk from the Radio Times, and also the fact that the cab was not fitted with a wireless.
Be not afeard. The isle is full of noises, sounds, and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears, and sometime voices that if I then had waked after long sleep will make me sleep again, and then in dreaming the clouds methought would open and show riches ready to drop upon me, that when I waked I cried to dream again.